Hi there.
Hi, I'm Officer Brittany Saunders.
Nice to meet you, Amelia.
Awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Yes.
Before we get started, do you need anything to drink, coffee, tea, anything like that?
Sure, maybe a coffee
Yeah,
would be
for
good.
sure. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
There you are.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can grab for you to make you a little bit more comfortable?
I'm good, thanks.
Awesome,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, so just before we get started, just so you're aware, we do have a video camera here today. It does capture both video as well as audio,
Okay.
so everything spoken about today will be documented.
Okay.
Also, this interview is completely voluntary, so at any point if you feel like you would like to leave or you no longer want to answer questions, just let me know. You're more than welcome to do so.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that so far?
I'm good. No
Good?
questions, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So today is Saturday, November 16, 2019. The time is 4:25. We are in interview room B. Just before we get started, I just wanted to read something to you just as a bit of a formality.
Okay.
Okay. If you've spoken with any other police officer or if anyone else in a position of authority has spoken to you in connection with this matter, I want it clearly understood that I do not want it to influence you in making a statement. Do you understand?
Yes.
Awesome, wonderful. Perfect. So just before we really get into everything, I'm just gonna ask you a few kind of administrative questions.
Okay.
So we're just gonna start off. Can you just spell out your name for me?
Okay. A-M-E-L-I-A.
Yeah. Perfect. And your last name?
And K-U-B-E.
Wonderful. And your date of birth?
June 19th, 2000.
Awesome. And your address?
143 Barker Street.
And is that here in London or is that?
In London.
Okay. Awesome. And is there a phone number we can reach you at just in case we do need to contact you later on?
Yes. 289
Okay.
681
Yeah.
2929.
Perfect. Okay. So now kind of with all that stuff out of the way, why don't you start off by telling me about your day on Wednesday, November 13th?
Okay, so I usually just get up around 7 o'clock. I got ready, made breakfast, took a shower, walked my dog, and then I probably left my house around 8:45 to get to the bus by 9. Once I got on the bus, after 2 or 3 stops, a woman got on the bus and sat next to me. Then after that, like, I was just kind of sitting there minding my own business, listening to music, and then all of a sudden, she kind of like, I could tell she was getting frustrated and kind of nudging me until I thought I heard her say something. So I kind of just like, oh, excuse me, like, did you say something? And then she told me I had to move, and I was like, this is my right to sit here, like I can sit anywhere, so I just remained where I was. And then after that, I could tell she got kind of mad about that, so she kind of pushed me, pushed like my purse out of the way to get it out of the way. And then she punched my face, just kind of came out of nowhere. She got really angry. She gave me a black eye, as you can tell. I tried to push her away and get her off me as she was like hitting me repeatedly. I tried covering my face so she could hit it again, so she couldn't hit it again, but she kept going at it. And then people around on the bus were trying to help me out, kind of take her off me, but yeah, she just didn't really listen.
Okay, what happened next?
So at that point, one of the passengers on the bus called the police, and I kind of just stayed on the bus until they came, minded my own business. And then the police arrived, they asked me a bunch of questions, and sent me on my way. I was supposed to go to school, but I just, at that point, wasn't feeling it, so I was just going to take a bus back home, but I didn't want to because of the whole bus thing just kind of got me scarred about that, so I just got an Uber.
Okay, awesome. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions just to clarify a few details about what happened.
Yeah.
So, sorry, can you just tell me what bus you got onto?
I got on the 17 Oxford.
Okay. And what direction was that heading in?
It was going eastbound towards school.
So do you remember exactly what stop your attacker got on at?
I think she got off at Oxford and Platts.
Okay. Did you notice anything unusual about the attacker when she got on the bus?
Not really. Like I said, I was kind of just minding my own business on my phone, so I wasn't really paying attention to her. After the fact that I noticed she kind of got frustrated when my purse was rubbing against her, but other than that, nothing.
Do you think you'd be able to describe what your attacker looks like?
Yeah, so she was a female. She was like probably about 5'2", with light brown hair. She had brown eyes. She was probably 110 to 120 pounds. She was wearing a black vest with a black hoodie underneath and like some like black leggings and like a pink backpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you had to guess, how old do you think your attacker
Probably
was?
like 20 to 22.
Perfect. Okay, so now I would just like to show you a few things. So in this binder here, I have a few photos.
Okay.
There's one photo per page. What I would like you to do is flip through the pages and take a look at each photo.
Okay.
However, when you go through the pages, once you flip the page, you can't flip back to the previous page.
Okay.
So before you do flip the page, make sure you really look at the photo. Do you have any questions about that at all?
No, I understand.
Awesome, perfect. If you do find anything in here that does look familiar, let me know immediately. If you don't find anything, just close the folder and hand it back to me.
Okay. Thanks.
There you are.
It was this one right here.
Are you positive about that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So is there anything else that you can think of at this time that you think would be of importance to this investigation?
No, nothing really, other than the fact that I think she was wearing a ring because when she punched me, I drew blood from my face. So I think there's some sharp object or something that may have done that. And I think it may have been a silver ring, from what I remember.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if that is all that you have for me right now, those are all the questions that I have for you at this time. I'm really sorry that this has happened to you. This really shouldn't happen to anybody. However, I do appreciate you coming in to talk to us about this. I'm really hoping that this information will be enough to help us figure out who did this to you and exactly why. I'm gonna give you my business card on our way out, and that way if you do think of anything later on and feel that it is of importance, feel free to contact me. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact me either. And like I said, I took your phone number down, and if I have any further questions for you, I will be in contact with you. So I can walk you out now.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks.
Hi there, I'm Officer Brittany Saunders. Thank you for coming in today. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can I grab you any refreshments, any coffee, tea, anything like that?
Okay, thank you.
No, we're good. Do you need to use the restroom at all before we get started? No,
Good.
perfect, awesome. So I brought you in here today because I'm investigating a situation that had occurred on a city bus on Wednesday, November 13th. Today is Saturday, November 16th, 2019. The time is 12:02 and we are in interview room B. Just so you know, today this interview is completely voluntary, so if at any point you would like to leave, you're more than welcome to do so, as well as if you do not feel comfortable answering any more questions, let me know immediately and we will stop. Do you have any questions about this so far? No? Awesome. Also, so you're aware, we do have a video camera here today that is recording video as well as audio. Lastly, before we get started, I just want to read something to you just kind of as a formality. If you've spoken to any other police officer or if anyone else in a position of authority has spoken to you in connection to this matter, I want it clearly understood that I do not want it to influence you in making a statement. Do you understand?
Yes.
Awesome, wonderful. So with that being said, I just kind of want to go through and get a little bit of administrative information out of the way. So do you mind just spelling your name for me?
Emma, E-M-M-A,
Perfect.
and Barcham, B-A-R-C-H-A-M,
Okay. And your date of birth, Emma?
February 14th, 2000.
Okay, perfect. And your address?
153 Thurman Circle.
Okay. And that's here in London?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a phone number we could reach you at in case we need to reach you at any point after you leave here today?
705
Okay.
414
Okay.
5211.
Well, thank you. Now, can you tell me a little bit about what you know happened on Wednesday, November 13th?
Yeah, so I always take the bus to school, and this girl and I always get on at the same stop. I don't know what her name is, but I see her every day. But we got on the bus, and she sat down, and I was standing almost right in front of her. We were on the bus for maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the bus stopped at Oxford and Platts Lane, and that's when the other lady got on. She sat down next to the girl, and then the bus continued going. The girl who got on the bus with me had a big purse, and she kept it on her lap, but it was still brushing up against the other girl that had just got on. I could tell the other lady was getting annoyed by the bag, and that's when she asked her to move. Of course, the girl I got on with had her headphones in, so she didn't hear the first time. So she asked the other lady to repeat herself, and that's when she started debating that the girl moved seats. They argued back and forth for a few minutes, and someone else on the bus tried to tell them to stop. Then it just got escalated from there, and that's when the other lady hit the girl with the purse that I got on with, and they started fighting, and the other passengers tried to break them up. Once the bus stopped at the next stop, that's when the other lady got off and went running at the front door of the bus. Then I called 911, and the girl I got on was with bleeding under her eye.
Okay. And would you be able to describe the attacker to me?
I would say she was probably about 5'2", maybe, with shoulder length, light brown hair. I think she was a slim build. It was hard to tell exactly just because she was wearing a hoodie and a vest. But she was wearing leggings, so she had thin legs.
Okay. And what bus did you get onto?
I was on the 17.
Awesome. And what direction were you heading in?
We were going eastbound.
Perfect. And do you know what stop that the other lady got off at?
I believe it was a stop right in front of the Superstore in Oxford and at Cambridge.
Okay. Had you ever seen this person on the bus before?
I think I may have seen her on the bus once before, but I think that day I took the 91 Express.
Okay. And are you able to give me kind of a time frame when everything took place?
Well, I got on the bus at 9 a.m., and I would say that was probably between 9:07 and 9:10 when the other lady got on the bus. It wasn't long before they started arguing, so probably like 9:12, maybe like 9:14, that they actually started fighting. And then the bus stopped and she got off probably around 9:20.
And did you notice anything unusual about the attacker?
I mean, she seemed a little annoyed or irritated.
Okay. And how so? Like, what about her made you say that?
Well, she seemed to be in a rush or something.
Okay. Now, I have something that I'd like you to take a look at quickly. So in this folder here, I have a few photos. Each page has one photo on it. I want you to take a look through these photos and let me know if you see anything that looks familiar. As soon as you do see something that looks familiar, please let me know. The one rule that I do have with looking through this is as soon as you flip to the next page, you can't flip back. So really make sure you get a good look at the photo before you flip the page over to the next one. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Do you have any questions about that at all?
No.
So there you are.
It was this one.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Right. Is there anything else that you can think of that you think might be of importance at all?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, at this time then, that's all the questions that I have for you. So I will walk you out, and on our way out, I'll give you our business card. That way, if you think of anything and you feel that you need to get in contact with us, you have that. And if we feel that we have any more questions for you, we'll be in touch with you. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good morning, Theodora. Morning. My name is Constable Madeline Atchison, and I'll be interviewing you today. Now, before we get started, can I grab you any refreshments? We got coffee, tea, water.
Just coffee.
Coffee? I'll be right back. All right. There you are. Awesome. Now, Theodora, I brought you here today because you're a suspect in an investigation regarding a situation that took place on a London City Transit bus on Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. Today is Sunday, November 17th at 11:30 a.m. and we are in interview room B. Now, before we get started, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. This is being audio and visually recorded right now, up in this corner here. And it will be capturing everything we say and do today, all right? I would just like to make sure you understand that at this time you are currently a suspect in this investigation, and at this time you are currently not being placed under arrest, and you are free to leave at any time you wish. Do you have any questions regarding that? Awesome. At this time, I would like to also caution you as well as inform you that if at any time during this interview you wish to contact a lawyer, please let me know and we will do so immediately. All right, so Theodora, I'm investigating an incident that took place on a London City Transit bus on November 13th regarding assault causing bodily harm. You are not obligated to say anything unless you wish to do so, but whatever you say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I would also like to get some basic administrative questioning out of the way. Let's start with the spelling of your first and last name, please.
So Theodora, Teodora. Last name Ristic, Ristic.
All right, thank you. And your date of birth, please.
October 14th, 1999.
Perfect. What's your address as well?
17 George Street,
And what city?
London, Ontario.
Perfect. So can you please just tell me what happened on the day of Wednesday, November 13th, from when you woke up until the end of that day, please?
Yeah, so I had class 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pretty straightforward day. I got her up around 8, I think. At least that's when I normally wake up for class on a Wednesday. Got dressed, packed a bag, got on the bus, went to class.
Okay.
Pretty normal day.
All right, yeah. And do you know roughly what time you got on the bus at?
Like 9 or something. Don't really know. Don't really check the time every time. Bus just comes around the same time as usual.
Okay. And do you normally get on the bus at that time every day?
Yeah?
Okay. Now, Theodora, what bus do you usually take?
91.
Okay. And is that the bus that you were on?
Yep.
What stop did you get on the bus at?
Eastbound. That's the way I go to school.
And, sorry, what stop was that?
Oxford and Wonderland.
Okay, heading eastbound?
Yep.
All right. And did you notice anything unusual at the bus? Anything happen?
No, not at all.
You didn't talk to anyone when you were on the bus?
No, the bus driver said hi to me. I
Okay.
said hi back. Didn't really talk to anyone else.
All right. So if we were to talk to anyone else who was on the bus at that time, they'll tell us that you only said hello to the bus driver?
I mean, I don't know, I guess you have to ask them yourself, but I don't see why they would say anything different.
Well, actually, I did talk to some people that were on the bus that day. Do you know what they would have told me?
How am I supposed to know? I mean, you are the one who spoke to them, not me.
Well, they told me a story about a female, matching your description, that's why you're here today, getting into an altercation with another female on the bus.
Interesting.
Do you know anything about that?
Like I said, I got on the bus and was just minding my own business like every day.
All right. Well, actually, do you recognize this girl?
No?
No? You sure?
I'm not sure, maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, that is what I said, isn't it?
Okay. Do you know how you would maybe recognize her?
I think she might have been on the bus when I was going to school. Not really too sure.
And Theodora, was she on the bus on November 13th?
Probably. I don't know for sure. Like I said, she's normally on the bus.
Okay. Have you ever spoken to her before?
If I had to make a guess, I would say yes. But like I said already, she is normally on the bus.
Okay. Interesting, because I have witnesses who have identified you saying that you had a conversation with this individual on the bus on November 13th. Could you explain maybe why that would be said?
I don't remember every single person I've talked to.
Okay, well that's interesting. However, I also have surveillance footage that shows you having a conversation with this individual.
Okay, so maybe I asked her if someone was sitting next to her or something like that. What is the harm in that?
Nothing, but I don't think that's what you said to her.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah?
All right. And sorry, I thought you just said you can't remember everyone that you've ever talked to. So if you can't remember speaking to this individual, how can you be sure what you said to her?
No, like I keep telling you, it was a normal day. Got on the bus, the same time as usual. It's a pretty typical Wednesday for me.
Okay. Well, let's just switch gears. How do you pay for your bus fare every day?
Just my student card.
That's convenient, isn't it? That's a convenient system.
Yeah?
Yeah. Also, Tia, I actually have verification of you boarding the bus that day. That's just the verification of you scanning your card on the bus. This shows that you boarded the bus and scanned your pass at 9:10. It also shows that this individual that you had a conversation with scanned her pass at 9 o'clock that day.
Okay.
This page also shows what bus you got on. As you can see, you got on the 17th Argyle eastbound.
Okay, so what? Different bus that day. Sorry for not knowing exactly which bus I got on that day.
And here's this too. On this page, the bus tracks exactly when it stops and where, as you can see here on November 13th.
Yeah, so?
You told me you boarded the bus at Oxford and Wonderland. Yet both of these documents show me that you actually got on at Oxford and Platts Lane. So are there any other details maybe you got mixed up?
No.
Okay. That's actually a nice ring you have there.
Thanks.
Do you mind if I take a look at it?
I mean, I guess. 1 second.
Thank you. That's pretty sharp. I'm surprised you haven't hurt yourself or anyone with this, eh?
Yeah, can I have my ring back? Thanks.
How about you try walking me through your day again now, Tia, on November 13th?
Ugh, I mean, I already told you this. Got on the bus, went to school from 10 to 3, then I went home and did some homework.
And do you live alone? Do you live with anyone?
No, I live alone.
Okay, would it be okay if I contacted any of your professors? I just want to verify your attendance in class that day.
Not all of my professors take attendance in class.
So you don't mind me just asking them? Or maybe I could ask some of your friends at school that day too?
I mean, is there a need? I'm telling you I was there.
I know you are. I just need to make sure that you're not lying to me, Theodora.
I'm not.
How do I know that? You lied to me about what bus you got on and what stop you got off at.
Can I not get them mixed up? Can I not make a mistake?
Okay, I guess you wouldn't mind me contacting them then.
Okay, no, fine, I didn't go to class that day.
And why didn't you go to class that day?
Because I got off the bus?
Do you want to talk about why you got off the bus?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, Theodora, before we do so, I'm going to read you your rights to counsel and caution you. I am detaining you for assault causing bodily harm. It is my duty to inform you that you have the right to retain and instruct counsel without delay. You have the right to telephone any lawyer you wish. You also have the right to free advice from a legal aid lawyer. If you are charged with an offense, you may apply to the Ontario Legal Aid Plan for assistance. 1-800-265-0451 is a number that will put you in contact with a legal aid duty counsel lawyer for free legal advice right now. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you wish to call a lawyer now?
No.
You will be charged with assault causing bodily harm. You are not obligated to say anything unless you wish to do so, but whatever you say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Why don't we just start from the beginning? What happened that day?
Well, I mean, woke up late.
Okay.
Thought I was going to miss my bus, so I ran to the closest bus stop I saw. I mean, the morning started off pretty rough, so I was already annoyed.
Rough day.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be late for class, so got on the bus. I was too tired to stand. Had a long night, and so decided to sit down.
Okay. Rough day. Not in the best mood on the bus. Did you run into anyone on the bus? I'm asking you again.
I don't know.
You didn't get in any verbal or physical altercation that day on the bus?
I don't remember.
Okay. How was your bus ride like?
It was okay, just like any other day. I got on the bus, found a seat, sat next to this woman, just had my headphones in, listening to my music, like just a normal day, any other day.
And Theodora, did you have any contact with this woman? Once again, just maybe tell me what you said, what she said.
I mean, just asked her to move over a little bit. I asked nicely, didn't raise my voice, but she wouldn't listen. It wasn't my fault.
What wasn't your fault?
Just wasn't my fault. It wasn't.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what happened?
Like I told you, I got on the bus, put on my headphones. I was really tired. It was a long night. Didn't sleep.
Can you maybe tell me why you got off the bus then? What caused you to get off the bus, Theodora?
She wouldn't move. Her purse was rubbing against my shoulder, and
So clearly that made you
of
upset.
course it upset me. She didn't listen. I told her to move, and it wasn't my fault. I didn't mean it.
You mean what?
Nothing.
I need you to tell me the truth here. What happened? What happened?
I promise you, it wasn't my fault. I
What wasn't your fault?
I might have just moved her out of the way.
Okay. Okay. So how'd you do that?
I mean, someone was getting off at one stop, and I got up because I was irritated because her purse was touching my shoulder, like I said, and they got up, and I guess she was getting off at the next stop, so I got up and she got up, and I was just angry. I was upset. I didn't know what to.
So you said you moved her out of the way. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What did you do to her?
I didn't do anything. I pushed her, but I didn't
Okay.
do anything wrong. I just moved her out of the way.
Okay. Where'd you push her?
I pushed her away from me. I just pushed her shoulder and then pushed her head, and she was coming back.
Okay. Well, I really do appreciate your honesty. Can you tell me more about how you pushed her?
I told you. But when she came back, it wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to hurt her.
Okay.
I was angry, and
You can tell me. I appreciate the honesty once again.
I did hit her with
Hit her where?
I didn't mean to, but
I
when she
get that.
came back, I didn't want her to hurt me, so I hit her in the face.
And how did you hit her in the head?
I hit her. I did, and I formed a fist.
Okay. That's helpful.
But I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
I get that.
Didn't mean to hurt her.
I get it.
But when she came back, it was just an immediate reaction, and I formed a fist, and I hit her in the side of the head.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks again. I know this is very hard, Tia. We all appreciate your honesty. This has made this situation a lot easier now knowing the story. I hope that you do feel some weight lifted off of your back now. Because I do appreciate your honesty. I really do. And thank you for that. So, if I can just kind of just sum up what you've told me. So you did punch her in the head? Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. That is very helpful too. Okay, Theodora, you've admitted to assault causing bodily harm on November 13th on the bus. I hope you feel some weight lifted off your shoulders. So you really have helped us out. You've really helped the situation out. And I really appreciate your honesty. I think we're done here today. Once again, really appreciate you stepping up and telling me what happened. I know that's hard. And, I know people act under pressure, okay? I think we're done here today, Theodora. So hang tight. 2 officers will come in here and just get a little bit of information from you, right? Thank Thanks very much for your cooperation today.